Hello friends, this is Country Mama back, wanting to do a homeschool update today. So today I'm going to be going over what we've done so far for September and October. We started school back the 1st of August, the first week, and we generally do a 6-week on, 1 week off scenario. So we have had 2 6-week spans, and we are on week 13 this week. So I'm just going to kind of go down Peyton's schedule and kind of talk about where we're at for each subject, and kind of if we're doing good, if we're ahead, if we're behind, if we're kind of, you know, and how we're liking some of our curriculum this year. So for Bible, we have the Positive Action for Christ. We're doing the kindergarten this year, for that way my 4-year-old and 7-year-old, we do it together. We are on lesson 11, I believe. We did some stuff, a couple other things scattered in, so we are only on lesson 11. There's only 35 lessons though. And we can pick up and double up 1 week and make sure we get through all of those by the end of the year. For spelling, we're on Spelling UC. We are on lesson 18 because we skipped the first, I think, 5 or 6 lessons at the first of the year because they were repeats from what she had done at the end of first grade. Her spelling is, I don't feel like it's really doing her that much good, because I think she just, a lot of ways she's just copying letter by letter, and she's not really paying attention to what she's even writing. So I'm trying to find something else for spelling. We also have Reading Eggs and Math Seeds, a subscription to those, and the Reading Eggs does have a spelling component to it. So I've been making her work on that just a little bit to try to get some more spelling practice in, but I've got to do something about her spelling, because her spelling is just not where it needs to be at this point. But we are still doing Spelling UC. I make her kind of practice her handwriting on Spelling UC, and just the information. So that's kind of why we're still doing it. It's she's on level C, so it's all of animal facts, and so every week it's about a different animal, and so she learns something from it. So I feel like it is beneficial, but it's, for the spelling help that it's supposed to be giving, it's just not what I want it to be right now. And she's not getting out of it what I feel like she ought to be. For writing, we are on lesson 52. We kind of, some days I let her journal write, because this program has 180 lessons, and we do a lesson every day, but then there's been some days. We started Taekwondo 2 weeks ago, and so we go to it twice a week, and it is probably about 45 minutes, an hour away, and the way the classes are, it takes up about half of our day 2 days a week. So it's a learning curve. So the writing portion is something that most of the time I can take with us, because most of the time it's a worksheet. And so she just got through with the nouns chapter, and she's working through the verbs. And then the next chapter, I think, is actually a writing chapter instead of the grammar. I like it. I like that she's learning what nouns and verbs and sentence structure and subject and predicate, and how she's going through like how different verbs, some verbs you just add the ed ending, and then some verbs actually change. So I do like that. We're going to keep going with the English because I feel like it's something she needs, and writing is something that I feel that is very important for her to learn how to do. So we're doing good with the writing. Lesson 52, we're probably a little bit behind. We might have missed a couple days here and there of doing writing, but if we don't finish, I have a really hard time with, okay, there's this many lessons we have to get done. I'm trying to give myself a break and say, you know, we will get done what we get done, and we'll do the best we can. Book Shark, I wanted to share what she's been reading in Book Shark. So since August, I think I showed what she had read in August. So since August, since that last homeschool update kind of, she has read Greg's Microscope, Hill of Fire. These two she wasn't crazy about. I think she liked Greg's Microscope better, but she did read through them and do fine with them. Frog and Toad All Year, she really liked these, but now I think she's just read her third one, and she's kind of over Frog and Toad. She read, this was her chapter book, Nate the Great. I think this is the very first one. She liked it all right. It wasn't her favorite. Amelia Bedelia. This one was supposed to take like 4 or 5 days. She read this in 2. Because she just didn't want to put it down. She just kept reading. So she read that one really fast. So she really liked that. Daniel's Duck. It wasn't her favorite. Frog and Toad Together is the one she just read, and she's reading Pompeii Buried Alive right now. So she has read through a lot of her books. There's some other books that I would like for her to read that I think she'd be interested in, but I'm trying to stick with the curriculum right now and have her read what they want her to read, and then if I find if we get ahead a little bit, because we have gotten ahead a couple times on these, and I pulled out something else for her to read until it kind of balances back out. For read alouds, we did finish Charlotte's Web. They both loved it. It was great. They were ready for another book on kind of that same scale. But the next book we read was Little Pear. And this was about a little Chinese boy about 100 years ago. And this one took us a little while because they weren't really that interested. It was a good book. I mean, the little stories in it, you know, his adventures were good, but it wasn't their favorite. We've also read Owls in the Family. This was much better taken. It's about a boy and a couple of his friends, and they live in Canada. And he talks about all of his pets. He has like gophers and owls and rats and mice and dogs, and he has lots of pets. So but I enjoyed that book, and I think they did too. And now we're getting started on Henry Huggins, and I had never read any of the Henry Huggins books. I've read through all of the Ramona books, and Henry is Henry and Beezus were friends. So he's like a neighbor or something, and it's been a while since I've read them. So I am looking forward to Henry Huggins, and I think the girls will really, really enjoy that. The other stuff, for All About Reading Level 3, we are on Lesson 21. There are 54 lessons. I've got the chart over here. There are 54 lessons altogether. I had us finishing up like end of February or 1st of March, sometime in there. So we'll be fine getting through all of that. I really like All About Reading. I like the stories. Peyton really likes the stories, especially now that they've come out with the color books. I think she likes them better. The black and whites were beautiful too, but you know, kids, they kind of like their color. So I would definitely recommend All About Reading. And we will probably start level 4 when we get done with level 3. I'll probably go ahead and have it ordered and kind of get it started before we finish up for the school year. Math, we are on Unit 12 because we have Matthew C, and you have, I think, lessons 1 through 7 maybe were Unit 1. So we do, you know, a unit each week, and then the test week, I schedule just the test, and it's usually 2 pages or something. And if there's anything I see on the test that she's kind of struggling with, then I'll pull out some of those sheets that she didn't use for that chapter, and we'll go back over those that week. And so that gives us kind of a little buffer to make sure if she's getting behind with anything, we can kind of go back and fill that in. So we are on Unit 12 this week. Science, we are still doing Apologia Astronomy. She's getting a lot out of it, and I'm really surprised because to me it seems like much higher level, the material and the things that they get to do. I just feel like it's above their age level, but she's retaining so much out of it. So if you have the time and the will to do the activities with them, and the reading and keeping it interesting and fun for them, I do recommend it. It's a lot of, I feel like it's pretty teacher intensive for having to prepare everything and making sure that they're really able to keep up with the subject matter. But it's really going well. There are 14 lessons, and we are on we just finished lesson 4. So, you know, we're kind of taking it a little bit at a time. What I did start doing, because my initial schedule plan was do history on like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and do science on Tuesday, Thursday. Well, it was just too much change too often. So what I decided to do was I do a history chapter out of our heritage studies, and then once I finish that, then I pick up the next chapter in science. And so we do a history chapter, and then we do a science chapter, and then we do a history chapter, and then we do a science chapter. We're doing heritage studies for history, social studies, and there are, I think, only 10 chapters in it, where there's the 14 lessons in the science. So once we finish the history is supposed to only be like a half-year program because there's only 90 lessons. Heritage Studies is BJU, and our English is BJU, but the English has 180 lessons, and the history, or the social studies, only has 90. So you can either, you know, only do it certain days of the week, or you could just do it half the year. So that's kind of what we're doing, and it's going much better that way, because then I can spend the entire week, and usually I can get done with the science chapter in a week, or less. And the social studies usually takes us around a week, maybe a couple days more, because we just do, you know, that lesson a day. So that seems to be going much better, because switching it up every single day, it was just hard for us to keep up with. And then by the time I did, you know, science on Tuesday, and then we did social studies on Wednesday, and then I picked back up with science on Thursday, sometimes, you know, she could really keep up with what we'd done Tuesday, but like if we're in the middle of a chapter, and so the activities and stuff need to go together, and I feel like she gets a more cohesive concept and really gets a better, stronger concept of what we're talking about if we do it every day until she gets through, when we get through the whole thing. She has a much better grasp on what we've talked about and what we've learned. And I think that's mostly everything. Comment below if you would like to see. I thought about doing a video on all of our like thinking games, our logic games that we use. And also if you'd like to see anything on reading eggs and math seeds. Because when I taught school, they used it at the school I worked at. Of course, I was in 5th grade, so I didn't use it. But all of the, I think, K2 students had accounts with it. And since she was familiar with it, when I came home to homeschool, I just went ahead and ordered it because I got a family plan, because the reading eggs, I think, starts at age 2 maybe, because there's activities for like little ones with colors and things. And then the math, I think, starts at 3, maybe 4. But my 4-year-old is doing it, and she's doing fantastic. I'm so pleased with her progress. And next week, if you want to like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, and next Monday I will have what we're doing for her curriculum this year. She's not doing full kindergarten, but she's not really doing preschool either, so it's kind of a K4 curriculum. We're going to see kind of how far she gets this year because she won't be 5 till March. But she was really excited about doing school. So we're doing some Bob books, and I have the Usborne Early, my first reading library thing, and so we've been pulling from those and working on sight words. But I will have her curriculum up next Monday. So make sure you have that bell notification for that. And if you have any questions or any specific videos that you want to see from me on anything that we're doing, just leave those in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you to my subscribers for coming back, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.